welcome to another video. It's that time of the week again. It's Premier League predictions time, and this one's significant because this is the final Premier League predictions video of 2024. We are entering into 2025, people. We're entering into almost the second half of this season, and I, for one, cannot wait. The fixtures are coming thick and fast. The Premier League table is taking shape. And of course, this is the video where we talk about each and every single game to come up in another round of Premier League fixtures, give talk, give analysis, but most importantly, give predictions on how we think each and every single game will go. Can't wait to get my eyes on this one, to get my teeth into this one. So let's get on with it, shall we? But before we get into all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comments section as well. Give me your thoughts, give me your feelings, give me your opinions, but most of all, give me your predictions. I'd love to know what each and every single one of you is thinking about each and every single game to come up in another round of Premier League action that is almost upon us. Get involved. Would love to hear from you all. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's get on with the video, and we're starting off with Leicester City taking on Manchester City at the King Power Stadium. I've gone with a 3-1 win to Manchester City. Only one win in 12 for Pep Guardiola's side. We know the story, been well documented. Each and every single one of us has chucked in our 2 cents on the problems that are going on at Manchester City right now. But surely, City win this one. Surely they win this one. I mean, if they were to lose this one, even if they were to draw this one, if alarm bells weren't ringing before for Pep Guardiola, they certainly should be after dropping points to a relegation candidate in Leicester. Look, Leicester last time out lost to Liverpool. Manchester City dropped points against Everton yet again. Both of these sides are not exactly coming into this one in the best of forms. But you'd be crazy. You'd be crazy to think City don't come out of this one with a win. They really should. They really should at least momentarily get their form back on some sort of track in this game. I'm going with City to win. Man City, that is. But at the same time, it would be crazy if Leicester did get something from this game. And let's face it, with City not exactly being in the best of form right now, you wouldn't necessarily put it past Leicester to maybe sense that they are facing a very vulnerable and very weak Manchester City side that maybe they couldn't fancy their chances against. But I just think the overall individual quality will shine through. I don't think Leicester have enough about them to stop City in the attacking third especially. And that is why Pep Guardiola's side will win this game, in my opinion. Moving on. Crystal Palace taking on Southampton. And I've gone with a 2-1 win to Crystal Palace. Now, difficult to call. Both sides not exactly in the best of forms. Both sides Palace been hit and miss this season. Southampton obviously relegation candidates, rock bottom of the Premier League. But it's still difficult to call because we know that obviously Southampton under the new manager, we don't really know what to expect still. But at Selhurst Park, home advantage to Crystal Palace, the individual players that they have, I'm going with Palace to get the win, get across the finish line, get the 3 points, and obviously get a big 3 points at that. So I'm going with Palace to win, but again, it wouldn't be otherwise a possibility for Southampton to get something from this game. Like I say, the new manager bounce, the new manager sort of mystique kind of throws in a bit of a curveball. But at the same time, I'm going with Palace. Palace to get the 3 points. Palace to get the 3 points. Next up, we're at Goodison Park for Everton against Nottingham Forest, and I've gone with a 2-0 win to high-flying Nottingham Forest. Now, This is more of a game that I am fairly confident in the prediction of a Forest win, but not so confident in the prediction of a 2-0 win. I say 2-0 because Forest have got one of the best defensive records this season. Everton don't necessarily score a lot of goals, even though they have picked up a fair few points against the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City in recent weeks. It's been a very, very good month for Everton, in a month where on paper you probably wouldn't have expected them to get anything out of those games at all. But it's been a very good month for Sean Dyche's side. Even better season for Nottingham Forest, who, like I say, have one of the best defensive records in the Premier League, and they're coming up against a side that don't tend to score a lot of goals. Scoring goals has been Everton's Achilles heel this season. They haven't scored that many. But they are, of course, still a danger. On the counter-attack, they are a danger. From set pieces, they are a danger. Forest will need to obviously have their wits about them, especially from set pieces, and defend very, very well indeed. Alternatively, and at the other end, Forest going forward can be pretty dangerous. Their last victory was a 1-0 win over Tottenham, in which they sliced Tottenham apart thanks to Morgan Gibbs-White feeding Anthony Elanga, who is enjoying a pretty decent goal-scoring run within his last few games. There are also other players of note. Callum Hudson-Odoi is always a threat from that left-hand side. We mentioned Gibbs-White's creativity. We've mentioned Elanga on the other wing as well. They also have Ryan Yates, the engine in midfield, alongside the one of the, I personally think, one of the best signings of the summer in Elliot Anderson. But of course, they also have the very much informed Chris Wood, a danger anywhere on the pitch from any sort of attack. I'm going with Forest to win. I'm going with Nottingham Forest to get the victory. 2-0 to Forest is what I'm going for in this one. But I'm not entirely confident on the scoreline. But the prediction of a Forest win surely is one of the more favourable ones to call this upcoming game week. Next up, we have got Fulham taking on Bournemouth, and I really could not decide this one, so I've decided to cut it down the middle, go for 1-1, points to be shared. Both of these sides on their day can be incredible. Both of these sides on their day can play some really nice and attractive football, but I really don't know which way to call this one, because Bournemouth, as high-flying as they are, currently in 6th at the time of recording, they can slip up in games like this. And Fulham have been pretty strong all season. And that big win they picked up at the weekend against Chelsea, coming from behind to win, incredible. Absolutely incredible. But the fact of the matter is, both of these sides have a tendency to both play well or play poorly. There very rarely seems to be any kind of middle ground for both of these sides. Both play some nice football. It's all about whether or not they can take their chances or not. I think this could be a very underrated game for this upcoming game week. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. It really could go any which way. I'm looking forward to it though. I'm looking forward to this game. I think it could be a very underrated and under the radar type of game for this upcoming round of fixtures. Next up, Tottenham Hotspur go to host Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I'm going with a 2-1 win in favour of the away side. Spurs, back-to-back defeats for them. Losses to Liverpool, losses on Boxing Day to Nottingham Forest. They are an injury-hit side. They are a side in poor form. No momentum. Doom and gloom surrounds Ange Postecoglou and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium right now. And coming up against this Wolves side, who will still be buzzing from that 2-0 victory against Manchester United, buzzing with this new manager bounce that they are seemingly going through right now, it just spells to me bad news for Tottenham. You're catching Wolves at the wrong time. You're catching Wolves in a period of time where they are seemingly got their tails up. They are seemingly up for the fight. And if Mateus Cunha isn't banned for this game, because it does seem like he's heading towards a ban once the FA decide what to do with him, he could absolutely run the show. He did against Manchester United, and he could again against Tottenham. Now, that's not to say, obviously, this is a foregone conclusion. We know, obviously, Tottenham can turn up on their day and can be absolutely scintillating at times to watch. But the blueprint is there to stop Tottenham, and the blueprint is obviously there for Wolves in order to penetrate the back line, cut through the back line at will, and to obviously create opportunities and chances that Wolves need to take. That sometimes they have been a victim, critics of their own downfall of actually not taking themselves. But if they do, there's no doubt about it. 3 points is going to be theirs. It's all about whether or not they can take their opportunities and whether or not they can stop Tottenham down at the other end. I've gone 2-1 to Wolves. This genuinely could go any which way. I'm leaning more towards Wolves, though, with the kind of form they're in, the kind of good vibes that the new manager seemingly brought in. And like I say, if Matheus Cunha is going to be in this game and is going to be fit and ready for Wolves, and obviously not banned, more importantly, but not banned, then I think he could be the real difference maker on this game. So I'm going with Wolves to win. 2-1 for the Wanderers. Next up, West Ham against Liverpool. I'm going with a 3-1 win to top of the table Liverpool. Liverpool will enter this game either 6 or 7 points clear of the second place, depending on what Arsenal's result is later on today. I'm going with a 3-1 win to the Reds because of the form of the likes of Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Mohamed Salah, Alexis McAllister, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Ryan Gravenberch. You name them, they are in really good form for Liverpool right now, and I can't see that stopping, especially against the West Ham side, who in recent weeks have actually progressed and seemingly got better under Julian Lopetegui. But they have obviously got their vulnerabilities. Defensively, they still look weak. They still don't look convincing. And going forward, they're not the most convincing either. They may have got results in recent weeks, but against Liverpool, I don't see them picking up anything from this game, with all due respect to them, even with the fact that they are at home. Now, this is obviously a potential banana skin for Liverpool to slip up on if they take their eyes off the ball. So they need to be professional. They can't think that the game is won without a ball being kicked. This is obviously going to be a massive game for Liverpool, as is every single game now between now and the end of the season, or until maybe they win the title, if that is obviously going to be the case. Every single game is going to be important, no matter the level of opposition that is seemingly presented in front of them. West Ham will pose their challengers. We know the kind of players that they have. Mohamed Kudus, Jared Bowen, just to name a couple. It's a banana skin, but it's one that Liverpool should manage to dodge, and dodge carefully and professionally, with a 3-1 win at the London Stadium for your Sunday afternoon viewing. Next up, Aston Villa take on Brighton Monday night. The Seagulls travel to the Midlands to face Aston Villa, and I've gone with a goals galore type of game. I've gone 3-2 to Aston Villa. Now, I really don't know what to expect from this one. This one could be a mad game. This one could be a boring game. I'm not expecting it to be a boring game, but I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. I'm going with a goals galore madness game. Two sides like to play football. Aston Villa will, of course, be looking for redemption, looking to redeem themselves from that horror display against Newcastle at the weekend. They may feel a little bit aggrieved by the referee with John Duran's red card, which will see him suspended for this game, of course. But there is a possibility here that being at home, last game of 2024, they will get something from this. They go up against a Brighton side who haven't exactly had the best of times in recent weeks. We don't know about their result later on today, at the time of recording. Haven't had exactly had the best of weeks in December. kind of caught up a little bit with the squad, kind of caught up a little bit with their young manager, but he is obviously still learning his craft, and he's obviously still somewhat learning on the job, learning the Premier League on the job as well. So it remains to be seen what is going to happen in this one, but I'm anticipating what could be an exciting game of football, this one, that again could go a little bit under the radar because of other games going off at the same time, or even the day before, or whatever. I'm hoping for a goals galore type of game. We know the kind of players that we're going to be seeing on display between these two sides, and I think we could be in for an absolute cracking game here. I'm going through to Aston Villa. I'm going to give them just a slight edge given the fact that they are at home, but I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton did get something from this game. I'm going with Villa. I'm sticking with Villa as my initial thought, but I'm anticipating a very entertaining game of football for our viewing there. Ipswich Town, they are taking on Chelsea. They welcome Chelsea to their home ground, and I've gone with a 2-0 victory to the Blues. I think the Blues will get back to winning ways here after a couple of weeks of dropping points and losing ground and momentum on Liverpool at the top of the table. Chelsea fans were the first to tell you that they are not in a title race, and their players are obviously saying the same thing because their manager's saying the same thing. They are not in a title race. But for the past couple of weeks, I've seen a few nerves. I've seen a few crumblings under pressure, shall we say, from certain players in that team. So tell me, do you genuinely believe that you're not in a title race, or do you think it's a missed opportunity? I'm still yet to find an answer to those questions. But either way, I still think Chelsea have enough in the tank and will be good enough to obviously get the 3 points in this one. Ipswich could pose a threat being at home, make their ground hostile. If they make themselves difficult to break down, of course they will stand a chance of getting something, because this is the Premier League after all, and stranger things have happened. However, in saying all of that, I'm going with Chelsea to win. I think they'll have enough about them, the likes of Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Enzo Fernandez, Madueke, whoever else you can name that is in those Chelsea ranks. I'm sure will be too much for Ipswich to handle, and I'm sure at the other end they can keep them out and neutralise them as best as they can, so that not only will they get the 3 points, not only will they get the victory, not only will they get back to winning ways, but they will also keep a clean sheet in this one. I'm going 2-0 Chelsea. I think it's going to be a big day on that one for both clubs in this one. Next up, penultimate game on this list. Brentford take on Arsenal. Massive game. Bit of a London derby of sorts. And I'm going with Arsenal to win by 2-1. Now, Arsenal, I don't know what their game later on tonight is going to be. I don't really have a crystal ball for that. But I'm going to assume that they are going to beat Ipswich. That is what my mind is saying. That is what my predictions were saying in this round of fixtures. So I'm going 2-1 to Arsenal in this one as well. I think they will continue their momentum. I think they'll continue their chase of Liverpool at the top of the table. Brentford at home this season have been strong. They haven't obviously lost so far this season, I don't think, at home. Or they have a very good home record either way. But I just think Arsenal have too much about them for Brentford to deal with. I think that they will have enough about them to break them down. I think they'll have enough strength and depth about them that if they have to go the distance, then they will. And I think obviously their secret weapon of set pieces will be a massive contributing factor to Arsenal's victory that I'm predicting here. Now, that's not to say Brentford can't lay a glove on Arsenal. We know, obviously, their usual suspects in Yohan Wissa and, of course, Bryan Mbeumo will be huge in Brentford's attempt to try and take something from this game. And, of course, if they use them right and if their decision-making's on point, if their defence is resolute and solid as we know it can be, there is no doubt in my mind that Brentford can take something from this game. However, I just think Arsenal will have too much about them on the day and overall to get the 3 points that they so desperately need from this one. So I'm going with Arsenal to win 2-1. I'm not expecting it to be a pretty game from Arsenal or their most vintage of displays, but I am expecting them to get the win by hook or by crook. And finally, what I believe to be the biggest game of this round of fixtures, the main event, the highlight of this round of Premier League action to round off 2024. In the red corner, Manchester United, and in the black and white corner, it is Newcastle United. Old Trafford awaits this absolute Premier League classic. I'm going with 3-1 to Newcastle. The form of Newcastle and the form of especially Alexander Isak in recent weeks tells me that Newcastle will take the 3 points in this one. United in a bad run of form, United in a bad way, not exactly taken to life as well as I thought they would under Ruben Amorim so far. I still have high hopes and expectations for the future, but I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as what it actually has turned out to be right off the bat. Hasn't exactly been a great start, but there is still a lot of work to be done, and everybody who knows football would obviously know that if they only paid 5 minutes worth of attention to what Manchester United have been doing, not just this season, not just last season, but over the course of the past decade. Newcastle have seemingly been moving up the table, though. They've been picking up a really good run of form under Eddie Howe and are seemingly making a charge towards some form of European football for next season. Big opportunity here to get another 3 points for Newcastle. They should be smelling blood here. They should be smelling a Man United side that are in a bit of chaos right now. There's no Bruno Fernandes for this game because obviously he is suspended following his red card that he picked up against Wolves. Newcastle should be winning this one. But let's face it, there is individual talent there for Manchester United. There are going to be some players that may want to prove a point. There are some players that are coming under fire that may want to prove a point to Ruben Amorim to keep them on. Remember, January isn't just the beginning of a new year, but January is also the beginning of the winter transfer market. Worth keeping in mind. I've gone Newcastle. I think the way they're playing right now is very scintillating. They're playing very, very well right now. They're scoring plenty of goals as well. And against a Man United side who are struggling to defend from open play as well as... Well, their structure's better, but they're still struggling to defend. They're still conceding stupid goals from stupid errors, and especially from set pieces as well. They cannot defend a set piece to save their life. Newcastle can take full advantage of that. And that is why I have gone 3-1 to Newcastle. And I genuinely believe that the Magpies will get all 3 points when they travel to Manchester to take on Ruben Amorim's side for you to round off 2024. And that is it. That is all for this Premier League predictions video. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in that comment section. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure it'll make for great interest in reading, but mainly, of course, your predictions. Where would a Premier League predictions video be, after all, people, without your predictions? Exactly. So please do get involved down below in the comment section. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on all the games that are coming up that are going to round out the year of 2024 for the Premier League season. Would love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much for your continued, even brand new support of 2024. Can't thank you guys enough. It's been absolutely amazing. And if you are new, welcome to the journey. Welcome to the ride. Hope you are enjoying it so far. Thank you all for your support. It's very much appreciated and will never be taken for granted. I've been Fletch, and for the final time this year, this has been the final 2024 Premier League predictions campaign. Predictions video. I will see you in 2025 with more Premier League predictions. There'll still be more content, I'm sure, between now and then. But for the Premier League predictions video, this is it for 2024. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. I've been Fletch. This has been another Premier League predictions video, and I'll see you and speak to you all again soon in another video, or live stream, or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you all again very, very soon.